Hello, everybody, and welcome back to A Certain Point of View. My name is Jake Berlin, and I am one of your co-hosts, I should say, on A Certain Point of View. There are now three of us, but for today, there are just two of us. And per usual, I got Mr. Brian Avalosino here for our match breakdowns for these specific tournaments. How's it going over there, man?
Doing well. Ready to talk some schmo.
Yeah, no, it's exciting time, and this is the final play-in match that we're going to be getting for these tournaments here. And it's a cool one because we have the Quirky Mercs, the Greg Alba, and we have the Warfather with the Burning Droogs. You can see the promo image right here. Very, very cool. Two teams that could definitely need the points, or use the points, I should say. But two players who are looking to get officially in the tournament, playing the play-in match to face Mike Kalinowski. And if you're watching this, you more than likely watch spoilers. And spoiler, Greg Alba walks away with the KO in this one. He walks away with the KO. Not getting to the third round in this match, wiping the slate clean of the Warfather and the Burning Droogs, winning by 11 points. And we're going to talk about it, but just Brian, initial reactions, man. Is this what you expected?
Not in the slightest. I know we're going to break it down a little bit more, but not the showing I expected from Warfather. I toted him as the second Barbarian, and I apologize to the Barbarian because I apologize to the Barbarian because that was not the case in Warfather's match against Greg Alba.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had picked Greg Alba to win, so I'm not surprised that he won, but I am surprised at how the match turned out. Very, very shocking events here, and we can get right into it. Round one, it's the match. How the match ended, it's how it basically started here. You know, Warfather ended up missing the first question of the match. But as far as the round goes, Alba goes 8 for 10, missing the Star Wars and the Middle Earth question. Warfather goes 5 for 10, missing MCU, Star Wars, DC, Marvel, DCEU, and Indiana Jones, which was the mixed bag question for the final question of the round. So Greg is up 10-5 after the first round, and it's already a downhill slide for him. Definitely not the showing we were expecting from him, but I gotta say, on the flip side, Alba showed up, man. He looks. It's funny, we keep talking about not just the Quirky Mercs, but the real rejects in general. They just look like different players. They do. They look like they're taking it more serious. And Greg had mentioned it at the end of the match.
More serious. But
yeah, well, yes, yeah. Greg.
This was one of the. Oh my god, I was cracking up from beginning to end.
And if you watched our reaction, you can see our reaction to that. But I was going to say is that he mentioned at the end about how much Coy has been a help for him and John through this ride, and it's definitely showing.
Yeah, I mean, I believe we've only ever seen real rejects play from Quirky Mercs.
I believe so. Except for the live event with Bibiani and Meyer to start the year.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I mean, they're doing really well. I think better than anyone really expected them to, because they're kind of like, I mean, I should say they were kind of like one of those Wildberry teams where you watch for the laugh, and you hope they get some stuff right. That's not the case with them anymore. It's you're gonna get laughs, but they're also gonna play. So it's kind of cool to see that balance of hilarity, comedy, and still not just being someone there to make things funny, but is gonna compete. So I think that's
I'm with you. And we had mentioned it on our reaction, I believe, or maybe it was somewhere else, that so far the Quirky Mercs have all the or the real rejects have all the points for the Quirky Mercs so far this year. And that is even more so true with this win, because a KO, even though it was a play-in match and it's 1 point less than the regular stuff, Greg Alba walked away with 3 points, which for them is huge at this point. They were
absolutely.
I don't know if they were in dead last, but they were
in dead last. They were
dead last, and it definitely helps them at this point to get there and get any kind of points. But really, I mean, this is where things could change for a lot of teams, and it changed for Corruption. We talked about Laura Kelly for the Star Wars match, and now it's changing for the Quirky Mercs. I mean, this was huge, and so we go into round 2 here with a 10-5 lead for Alba, and he spins spinner choice. He decides to go first. He spins spinner choice, and he and Coy had this incredible conversation between MCU and DCU. We get to see this play-by-play thing between manager and player, which was really cool. Ended up going with MCU, which was the right choice. Going 5 for 5, getting 8 points, electing multiple choice twice, and going up 16-5 at that point. And it was big. And then, Warfather here, he spun Star Trek first, he spins away from it, spins again, lands on DCEU, and we know that was the other category that Greg Alba was going for. So we knew that there was a high probability that at some point Greg Alba was going to get a couple steals. That happened to be the case, but also Warfather just pretty much crapped the bed. Ended up going 1 for 5 for 1 point. Alba gets that 1 point back, walks away with 11-point victory, getting the KO 17-6 here. Really, really, honestly, shocking events in my opinion. Not what I expected. And I'll be honest. I know that at the end of the match, Harloff had asked Warfather's like, I know that you're focused a little bit more on singles. I don't think that's an excuse. He really just crapped the bed. And it's pretty at times it was pretty embarrassing because it almost looked like he was just kind of throwing in the towel, which in an Innergeekdom tournament,
I don't even know if he threw in the towel. He just didn't even seem like he knew like what he was doing in this, not in Schmoedown, just in this division.
Yeah.
It's funny because after I looked, and I'm looking right now, I was sitting there and I was like, did they have anyone else they could have thrown in other than Warfather? I mean, maybe not. I don't know. They've got Alonzo, Bonnie. We know Brandon's playing. Jader, JTE, who knows? Knapsocks in Star Wars. Rebecca McKendry, Scott Mance, Warfather, and Whitney. So, I mean, they're not
IG heavy.
Yes, they're not an IG team, clearly, outside of Brandon Hanna. And that showed. And I think that's going to hurt them because let's say Knapsack loses, your whole hopes solely ride on Brandon Hanna in 2 tournaments.
And there's a high possibility he can lose.
Yeah, or vice versa. I mean, Brandon Hanna might lose, and then your whole thing's riding on Knapsack. And, I mean, to throw someone out there that didn't seem like they knew anything about Innergeekdom, that's going to hurt you in the long run. Mm-hmm. So they better hope, if they want to stay running, that Brandon Hanna makes a freaking run or Knapsack makes a freaking run. And we know how hard Star Wars is. So to me, I mean, your hope kind of almost lies in Brandon Hanna, and Saul isn't much to sleep on from what we're hearing. And the Den's kind of in the same position as Burning Droogs. So they're relying on Saul to take out Hanna, because otherwise then they're down to who am I forgetting? Goddard, and he's going against Robert Parker. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that Hanna versus Saul match is a huge deal for these 2 teams. So it just kind of leaves me scratching my head with Warfather, like, what was the thought there that he was going to? I can't imagine you thought he was going to make it very far off of if that's how he played. So maybe they thought they could steal a point or a couple points from the first round, but clearly that was not the case in this match. Yeah.
So it's whatever the case may be, Warfather is officially out. Greg Alba is officially in the tournament, and he has taken on the killer himself, one of the IG legends of this game, Mike Kalinowski, and it's definitely a tough matchup. But I think everybody is going to be going to be picking Kalinowski in this one, but after like Alba played, I don't think it's going to be as easy as everybody thinks it is.
I mean, Alba didn't even make it to the third round, and he had 18 points.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. I mean, let's just say he did and nailed it. He would have ended that match at 28 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That is a lot of points. Now, it's going to be hard to beat someone like Kalinowski if you miss more than one in that first round. But, I mean, I don't think he's someone you can count out at this point because of what he showed against Warfather. I mean, we kind of got a really good preview of him because of the fact that they were deciding between MCU and DCEU, and then we got to see both of them. So, and I will say this, that was one of the coolest things to see with Koi talking through, because
that's why this virtual thing is so cool. I'm with you.
Yeah, because we've never heard a manager talk to a player like that during a match ever. It's usually silent, or they're covering their mouth or something like that. We've never seen that. And to be honest, I always kind of I'm sitting there like, well, what really are they going to be telling them? That's going to
now we have a whole perspective.
Yeah, like exactly. Like, what are they really going to be saying to them that's going to make a difference? Like, I mean, picking a category. Are you good at this one or are you bad at this one? Like what? But the way Koi did that was, I was like, wow, okay, the manager at least Koi, he's really, really helping break down something as simple to us as a choice. Which one's easier for you? Yep. So, I mean, especially how he brought up the fact, well, MCU is deeper, there's more movies, DCU has less movies, but it's kind of more of a pool. And I was just like, wow, I never really thought about those things during a category. I never really thought a manager was doing much other than just being like, well, which one do you like better? And so that was really cool, being able to kind of see that. So I enjoy that.
I'm 100% with you, and I love the BTS stuff. It's been the talk of a lot of stuff this year as far as maybe miking up the managers or whatever, but we get to see it firsthand with these matches, which is really, really cool. So for Greg Alba, you know, we had thrown it up here. He's facing KO right in the bottom right hand corner. You can see the bottom of the bracket on the right side. He has a tough test. There's a tough side of that bracket for sure, but there's definitely a possibility where he can shake things up a little bit, especially after getting one victory. It's very similar to Goddard, where he doesn't have anything to lose at this point. He really doesn't have anything to lose at this point, and so it can really go either way. I'll throw these standings up too, because we're going to talk about where the quirky mercs are. They're right there in the thick of things now. There's a lot of teams tied for right there in the middle with 6 points. They're quite a ways back from everybody involved with Swag and the Den and Finsock, but they put themselves back into discussion for these standings, for these factions, and we see that, you know, what could have happened with the Droogs. They could have even put themselves a little bit farther up if they walked away with a couple points there, but the quirky mercs stepped up and they're right back in the fold of things.
Yeah, no one's out right now. As much as we thought it was, this tournament puts everyone right back into it. I mean, everyone's kind of on the heels of everyone. 4-9 is anyone's game. Absolutely anyone's game. One win from 4-9 and the whole entire thing's changing.
Yep.
And then almost the exact same things 1-3. One win and that whole thing could change. So the tournament is huge for some of these teams. I would say personally, the Den's probably the one that needs to capitalize the most.
I agree.
Unfortunately, they are in a tough spot. Star Wars, they're done. They can't get any more points with that. Parker is going up against Goddard, which we all know that's going to be a knockdown drag out. And then Saul and Brandon Hanna. So, I mean, unless someone, I mean, we know Parker We know that one. I mean, the edge is probably going to Parker a little bit on that one. If that's the case, their tournament, the Den's tournament, relies on Saul.
Yeah.
The whole entire thing. So to be out of the 9 teams, I dare say they're probably in the worst spot, in the spot that is the most. They could be shifted very heavily down. We could see them at second. They could be towards the bottom by the end of this tournament, and that's
very well
kind of scary. Well. And then, yeah, there's a couple other teams that same type of thing. I think Rockstars is probably another one, because Damon's the only person that gets to play.
He's their only person for Rockstars, and he needs to make some damage right now. And let's not forget here. We'll throw this back up. Right now, Damon has 4 of the 6 points for Rockstars, so they're relying heavily on him at this moment.
Yeah, and it sucks because as great as he is, he's not playing these matches stacking points. He's unfortunately waiting at the end, and Quevedo lost. No, not Quevedo. Yeah, Quevedo. So there another one. Jen Kemp is no.
Quevedo lost, and then Jim Vavida lost as well.
Vavida, that's who I was thinking.
Who's both of them lost?
There's one? They have one more in Innergeekdom. Who am I missing? Yeah.
No, it's Alex Damon. Yeah, right here
in Innergeekdom.
Yeah, Jen Kemp is.
Oh yeah, Damon. So literally, Damon has to just kill both divisions.
He needs to win at least one match to get to salvage anything for the Rockstars. To salvage anything, that'll put him around probably around 8 or 9 points, which is enough. But they really they're the team. Them and the Burning Droogs right now are the teams that should be a little worried.
And the Den. You said Burning.
Yeah, the Den has already kind of made their damage a little bit though. They got some points.
But people can walk out of each of these with 12.
Yes, I agree. But luckily, they put enough padding between a number of other teams to help them a little bit. The key for them is whatever happens with Finstock and Swag. That's the key for them, but it could very well be a giant gap for sure.
Who does Swag have really quickly in Innergeekdom?
They have Paul Oyama and that's and Adam Lavick, and I forget about Adam Lavick. So they have 2 guys on the.
I always forget about Oyama. He's
like 2 guys on the left side of the bracket that could eventually play each other. But if they both win out, it's a win-win for Swag at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. A lot of craziness going on.
A lot of craziness, and there's a lot of craziness going on this week, guys. This is just 3 of like the 6 videos we're going to be doing this week. That doesn't include our main show. Before we get out of here, I'll break it down for you guys real quick. You guys can currently see our reaction to this matchup on the channel. It went up last night. Greg Alba versus Warfather. I will say we had a little bit of an audio issue between the microphone. Most of the match is there, but I did cut some things out. So you guys can check that out. You guys can see our breakdowns here. This breakdown is up. We will also have a live breakdown tomorrow for the Star Wars matches that are happening today. Both the Andrew Dimlanta and Joseph Scrimshaw one, which happens at 1:30, and the Molly Damon Adam Witt one, what happens at 3:30. You will more than likely see Pacific time. You are correct. You will more than likely see a live breakdown of those matches tomorrow, which means Thursday around the 4 o'clock time Pacific. And then we will also have a reaction up for Adam Lavick versus the Barbarian, as well as a breakdown for that match on Friday, just similar to this video, a breakdown of that match on Friday. And then, depending on the timing for the Friday match of Brandon Hanna and Saul, that reaction will more than likely be up sometime this weekend. And then our live show on Monday, breaking all this stuff down with Jill, our new co-host, she'll be joining us. She'll also be jumping on these videos. She just has a little bit of a busy schedule this week, and it's her first week, and so we're kind of testing some things out. But she'll be back on Monday to break all this stuff down with us, because we've all been talking about it already, and it's an absolutely crazy week. So make sure you guys are subscribed on YouTube.
Job here.
Yes. Subscribe on YouTube. And the best thing you guys can do to make sure you guys are catching everything is click that bell icon. And it allows you to see when we are posting stuff. It'll send you a notification. You guys can see exactly when everything is coming. You guys can also follow us on Twitter, which is where we post everything. We also post it ahead of time so you guys know the exact time. So that's at Schmoedown POV, excuse me. And then obviously all of our podcast channels. And so our main show and our breakdowns live on podcasts. All of those options are right above Brian's head right there. So we have Apple, Spotify, Anchor, as well as a number of others. So yeah, we have a lot coming, Brian, and it's been a lot of fun this week. So
Yeah.
but for now, that is our breakdown to Greg, Alba, and the Warfather. Make sure you guys are commenting down below. We'd love to hear from you guys on this one. And we will see you guys next time. So for Brian, for myself, this is A Certain Point of View. We'll catch you later.